and the proprietor would actually have a money conversation with them, because all the other ones, it's care, 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 and can you be trusted?
10 of these positions, these top 10 sort of positions within that senior assisted living type of, what are some of those, what are the names of some of those job titles?
Sure. So in the industry, I would say 4 of them are in the communities and the other are ancillary vendors outside of the community. So you've got the proprietor, you've got the director, you've got the finance director, you've got the marketing person, you've got the social worker. Those are the ones that usually exist inside. Then outside of that, you've got the downsizing experts, the placement agents. They're some of my favorite. They're like real estate agents for the senior living world. You've got elder care attorneys, and you've got people that do what's called aid and attendance benefits providing. You're like, well, what the heck does that mean? Well, right. It's like this thing we've never even heard of. So what usually happens is dad served in a war, and which means mom is now eligible for that aid and attendance benefit, but nobody knows that until they need it or they're told about it, right? The government's not out there saying, hey, we've got free money for your care. You have to have someone in your camp that's helping you. So when that person that's getting your aid and attendance benefit paid out, it's because you're moving mom into senior living. And so we go through each one of those 10, the proprietor is the most like an investor. You can have a money conversation with him or her. The social worker is the exact opposite. So I've got scripts for all 10 because you don't talk to the social worker anyway that you talk to the proprietor, right? The social worker, and really most of them are all about care. They're not about the money. Only the finance director and the proprietor would actually have a money conversation with them, because all the other ones, it's care, 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 and can you be trusted,
But all of them understand the mechanics and the economics. A lot of times is that the adult children need to unlock the dollars from the home in order to pay for mom's care, because like you said, I mean, it could be anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 a month, and she's on a fixed income and can't really necessarily afford the difference. And sure, adult kids might have some cash, but do they really want to spend $4,000 or $3,000 a month out of their own pocket, or can they unlock the equity in mom's house first? And then ultimately, if that money is even spent down by selling the home, then mom can qualify for Medicaid. That's what happened to my grandmother. And she went into a Medicaid type facility, which was a great spot for her based on her situation. Because, my grandfather died at 54. My grandmother lived till 84. So she was alone for 30 years on a fixed income, on Social Security. And that's exactly what happened, is what you're describing. Is my father passed, he since has passed away in November. So we had a very similar situation with him. But my grandmother, who passed away about 15 years ago, she had just her home was her main and almost only asset, and had to sell that in order to put her into what she originally moved in with my parents, then moved to assisted living, then moved to memory care, right through the continuum. And it was, and then ultimately in the hospice at the end. So she hit kind of all the different kind of stopping points, if you will, in that adult kind of care. And for sure, my grandmother, as she was an ornery, like 4'11", little Irish woman. She's like, someone like if you, Phil, or I had talked to her, called on her, or called on my father and gotten in touch with them and said, hey, what is mom going to do to sell the home to pay for this care type of thing? She went out and sold the house herself. She was still like ornery, angry, was going to do it on her own. She did it knowing that she was going to move in with my parents. But most of the time it doesn't happen, right? Where mom's just going to go make that decision on her own. She's going to consult with a realtor. She's going to consult with a real estate investor like us, consult with her adult children.